I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Finally, The Rock has come back. I hate this idea that you're the best.
And if you're not down with that, we got two words for ya!
I'm the best in the world.
I fight at WrestleMania for the very, very small percentage of people that walk this planet and say I am proud to be, I'm sorry, a professional wrestler.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
It's Podcast of the Immortals with your hosts, Matt Bush and Jimmy Bellamy.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to sniff the cork, right?
I'll sniff this while you sniff the cork. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It's the Game of Thrones Take the Black
It's just like Guinness.
Stout. Smells good.
Fireballs out his arse.
And lightning from his eyes.
Cooperstown, New York. That's where it's brewed.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Very good. Doubleday Field. Abner Doubleday Field.
No, Abner Doubleday was said to have created the game of baseball.
And is that true or not true?
It's like a tall tale.
Yeah, cause just like people talk about James Naismith and they say that he's not the first guy to create basketball or something, even though he's
it was a Canadian game, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, James Naismith was born in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Although I think he lived in Kentucky for most of his life. I don't know. I just know whatever Wikipedia tells me.
Yeah. Well, I watched that baseball documentary from Ken Burns like 4 times.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's a great one. And they were talking about Abner Doubleday. But yeah, this is Podcasting Immortals.
Episode 50 episodes. Who'd have thunk that?
I forgot it was our 50th.
10 months ago when we started this journey that our other members of our fellowship would leave. Oh wait, that's a different journey.
Poor Gandalf.
When Boromir tried to kill you.
I know.
Or is that Faramir?
It was Boromir.
It was Boromir, yeah.
Yeah, the little ones.
More like Boromir. Oh wait, no, that's what his name was.
He dies in every movie.
Yeah, we're 10 months, 50 episodes. What's more astonishing than anything is that we never missed a week. Knock on wood.
We didn't.
We haven't missed a week.
No, we were able to call in even when we were on vacations or at WrestleMania or what have you. We always found either a guest host or we were able to call in. And I mean, we're getting 26 inches of snow in the last 2 days. Guess what? We don't care.
No. And in fact, I think last winter, earlier this year, of course, we were delayed by a day because of snow.
Yeah.
I remember that. We ended up recording on a Wednesday due to the snow.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a unique circumstance. Right now, it's crazy. I'm just hoping that in, say, an hour and a half from now when we go to leave, because I gave Matt a ride to the studio today because his car got stuck in the massive amounts of snow. Studio being my bedroom. Yeah, my bedroom. I got you drinking beer. How many ounces is that thing?
All the ounces. It's a pint.
Yeah, that's more than
what it says.
A pint. That's way more than a pint.
It says 1 pint.
There's no way. This is wrong. It also says 9.4 fluid ounces.
What the heck?
There's
way more than that. Or maybe that's per serving.
I bet it is. Yeah, I bet it is.
Like 8 servings.
I'm willing to bet this is... No, it's 1 pint. It's 1 pint and 9.4 ounces.
Oh, that's a weird way to...
So it's, I think, whatever that is. I don't know how many ounces are in a pint. I'm stupid right now.
I don't care. It's perfect. It's a perfect size.
That's why the metric system's evil.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
We're episode 50.
50 episodes. It's snowing like crazy outside, but we've made it through a foot plus. I think about 15 inches in Duluth.
Yep.
26 inches not far from us, and we've got 15 more on the way.
Yeah. Sounds like it's just stupid. I don't know if anyone has ever been in weather like this.
Well, some of our listeners.
Well, some are like our friends and stuff. They'll know, but like people who listen from England. I don't know.
Well, it snows in England.
Well, I don't know if they get this.
I mean, maybe
snow,
not
but
quite like this.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Like, I just get angry. Like, I'm like, who lives here? Why would we live here? I'm mad at my ancestors for setting root here. You know
what though? I think, and we talk about it quite often. I think what happens is you have that glorious day every once in a while, and it's so nice here where you're like, this is why we live.
Yeah.
But when people I know visit here, they're like, you can leave, right?
Yeah. There's other places that aren't like this.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't know. Even Mo wants to leave right now. Mo, you want to go? Here, Mo, I'll let you out of here. But what a day.
But yeah, it's our 50th anniversary or episode. 50th anniversary. And WWE is celebrating a couple anniversaries. They have 50 years of WWE DVD came out. They also had WWE 20 years of Raw, because the 20th anniversary of Raw. And to commemorate that, they are coming out with a DVD set called WWE 20, or Raw 20. And they actually, this is one of the biggest box sets that they've ever released. It's full episodes. It's 20 full episodes of Monday Night Raw, unedited except for some Chris Benoit stuff.
Yeah.
But everything else is just the whole episode. It doesn't matter if it's Doink the Clown, having a match. They put the 20 greatest episodes of Raw, or most memorable episodes of Raw, in its completion. They didn't just cut it down to when Stone Cold came in on the Zamboni.
Stone Cold! Yeah. Stone Cold!
Or when he came in with the beer truck. It wasn't just parts of it. It was the entire episode.
Was Stone Cold E.T. on there?
No, it wasn't.
Stone Cold E.T.
Wants a burger?
What?
And I figured, I thought we could go down the list.
Well, you thought wrong.
Okay, I guess we're not going to do that. But we're gonna start off with that. Then we're gonna do our Raw recap, and then we have a little special end segment for you.
We're not keeping it secret, are we?
No,
it's the Slammies. The Slammies are next week, but our Slammies are today.
Yeah, we're gonna preempt them. We're gonna choose the right ones, and we have our own categories. We're not gonna have French Kiss of the Year. They've really turned the Slammies into the MTV Movie Award.
Well, yeah, and once you let the stupid people vote for it, it becomes dumb. Now, I don't know if it was just for the angle purposes, but that John Cena was Superstar of the Year last year.
Yeah.
When CM Punk held the title every day of the year.
Yeah.
Garbage.
It's pretty rough. But here are the episodes from Raw 20. The first episode is Raw number 17, episode 17, May 17th in 1993. They have the Smoking Guns versus Glenn Ruth and Tony Vaja. Vince McMahon interviews Shawn Michaels.
Glenn Ruth, of course, was Headbanger Thrasher.
And here's why it's on the this next match is why it's on the DVD.
Okay.
The Kid, the 1-2-3 Kid, defeats Razor Ramon. And I remember that so vividly.
I do too.
Chico. Yeah, they also had Tatanka versus Scott Taylor, Kamala.
That's too hot, Scott Taylor, baby.
Yeah, versus Yokozuna. And an Intercontinental Championship match, Marty Jannetty versus Shawn Michaels. So,
you know who Scott Taylor is, right?
No, I do not.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Well, I guess, yeah. The next one is Raw 174 from September of 1996.
How do you not have the first Raw on there? I'm not asking you that. It's more of a rhetorical question. I don't know how you don't have the first Raw.
When you only have 20 out of 1,000, you're going to have omissions. And there's one glaring omission that I will mention later.
Good.
Raw 174, September 6, 1996. He had a quarterfinals match for the Intercontinental Championship. It's Psycho Sid versus Triple H. He had a quarterfinals match again. Wildman Mark Merrow versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Jerry the King Lawler interviews Mark Henry. Alex the Pug Portal versus Mankind. And the WWE Championship match, Shawn Michaels versus Goldust. I'm not sure why that's so important in the ethos, but
it was Mark Henry's debut, although that wouldn't be worth.
No.
Although I'm assuming that was his debut because his first match was against Jerry Lawler in WWE.
I don't know. Raw 198, February 24th, 1997, the original ECW Invasion. Godwins versus New Blackjacks, Big Stevie Cool versus Little Guido. I don't even remember most of these guys. Ladies Arm Wrestling Challenge.
Little Guido ended up being Nunzio in WWE, if you remember Nunzio, and you have no idea who Nunzio is.
Ladies Arm Wrestling Challenge, Sunny versus Marlena. Goldust versus Savio Vega. Jerry the King Lawler interviews Ken Shamrock. Taz versus Mikey Whipwreck.
Mikey Whipwreck, baby.
The Legion of Doom versus the Headbangers. Shawn Michaels tribute video. Tommy Dreamer versus Devon Dudley. Todd Pettengill interviews Ken Shamrock, and The Undertaker took on Farouk.
So Ken Shamrock gets interviewed twice?
I guess.
Or was that 2 episodes in a row that you read?
Maybe 2 episodes.
I can't remember.
No, that was just one. I don't know.
Jeez.
We gotta burn through these. These are a lot. Raw 91 or 199, March 3rd, 1997, European Championship Tournament. Mm-hmm. Bret Hart took on Triple H, or Hunter Hearst Helmsley, as he was known.
The Connecticut Blue.
IC Championship match: Rocky Maivia versus Vader. The Sultan versus Flash Funk. Ahmed Johnson answers Farouk's challenge. WWE Championship match: Psycho Sid versus Mankind. Stone Cold Steve Austin live via satellite. Yeah, and the European Championship match of Owen Hart versus the British Bulldog. I bet that was pretty good.
Sweet.
Disc 3 starts on July 21st, 1997. Brett fights Vince is the title of the episode. Vader versus Ken Shamrock. Hart Foundation addresses a Canadian crowd. Light heavyweight match. Brian Christopher versus Brian Walsh. The Dude Love Story. I don't know what that is.
Brian Christopher, too sexy. Grandmaster sexy.
Triple threat match. The Godwins versus New Blackjacks versus the Headbangers. Jim Ross interviews HBK. Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus the Patriot. Paul Bearer proves that Kane exists. So that's interesting. Farouk,
Is that when he called the Undertaker a goddamn murderer in that episode?
Lit him on fire. Farouk versus Goldust. A flag match. The Hart Foundation with Brett, Owen, and the British Bulldog versus Stone Cold, Dude Love, and the Undertaker. So I really want to watch a lot of these. I think it'd be cool to watch like full episodes. Oh, September 22nd, 1997, Raw 226, Stunner to McMahon.
Yes, and that was the first time that
was
happened.
the first time. Vince had a terrible sell.
Yeah, it was shitty. I think from 98 to 2002, I recorded via VHS, of course, almost every Raw. Wow. Now, granted, I didn't save them all. I would dub over them once the tape filled. Yeah. But I had so many awesome episodes from those 4 years.
I wish.
And that was, like, to me, my favorite time ever.
How great would it be if they had, like, WWE Netflix on demand and you could just watch the old episodes?
I think we're going to see that once WWE Network actually comes into fruition.
I would love to just be able to, like, go back and literally watch have Nitro on there, too. They own the back catalog. Yeah, just, like, watch it and be like, what was going on that week? It'd be awesome.
I'm just glad we lived it. And I mean, I know that you kind of you dipped in and out and stuff, but oh my gosh, I loved it. I kind of like left briefly during like the WWE NWO stuff when like Michaels was in the NWO. Yeah. Chris Nowinski was getting regular matches and stuff. I didn't watch every single episode then, but oh man, it was good stuff.
So yeah, I'm just gonna hit the big things because we don't need Bash My Match, I guess.
No, that's fine.
So Stunner to McMahon, obviously an awesome episode. Goes down in the ethos. That's a good word.
The Pantheon.
Yes. Disc 4 is Raw 255, April 13th, 1998. Dude Love interrupts Austin McMahon. I guess that was a big moment. I think that was on the video game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey.
Give me the hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I want a couple cheeseburgers and maybe a drink.
There was a WWE Championship match that night, Stone Cold versus Mr. McMahon. So that was interesting. Raw 293, Mankind wins the championship, and now that was a huge moment. That was when Nitro goes, Mankind is going to win the belt. And they'll put him butts in the seat.
A lot of people credit that one for burying WCW, being the nail in the coffin.
I really don't think it was a nail in the coffin because it was still 99. They were still running pretty hot with Goldberg at that point, but
okay,
it definitely
13 minutes and 34 seconds
before our first
Goldberg match.
Goldberg reference. I think that's the longest I've lasted.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, that was when Mankind beat The Rock in a no DQ match. And actually, Stone Cold came down and helped Mankind in that match. People forget that, I think.
I love that match. Mm-hmm. Just like people forget, Goldberg helped Eddie Guerrero defeat Brock Lesnar.
Goldberg?
In No Way Out. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember that?
No, I do.
Okay.
I know my Goldberg history, sir. Disc 5. March 22nd, 1999, Raw 304, The Beer Truck.
I love that. That was at Joe Louis Arena, right?
I don't remember where it was.
At Joe Louis
but it was a
Arena.
Raw before...
It was in St. Louis.
Yeah, Raw,
I'm sorry, in Detroit is what I meant to say.
The Raw before WrestleMania, 14?
What year was it? 99?
99? 15, probably.
Hold on. 15 years? Yeah, it would be.
Because it was a corporation. It was before his match with The Rock.
It'd be WrestleMania 15.
So yeah, that was obviously an awesome episode. Raw 311, May 10th, 99. The highest rated Raw in history, and I believe that's when they had the This Is Your Life segment with
Mankind, right?
Mankind. I thought that was the highest rated Raw ever. Maybe I'm wrong. That might have been the highest rated segment ever. I don't know. But yeah. Raw, Disc 6 is March 26, 2001, Raw 409. And that was when Vince McMahon had bought in WCW. Mm-hmm. And they had the simulcast.
I remember that very well.
And
when Shane showed up.
Yep.
Here comes the money!
November 24th, 2003, Raw 548, Raw Roulette. Not sure why that's on there. There's a bras and panties match with Trish and Miss Jackie.
Oh, puppies.
There you go. Alright, I guess that's worth top 20 ever. October 3rd, 2005, Raw Homecoming. There's a Piper's Pit with Mick Foley. Iron Man match with Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. 30 minutes. Stone Cold and the McMahons. Another bra and panties match. 3-on-2 handicap.
A 3-on-2 handicap bra and panties match?
Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle, and Victoria versus Trish and Ashley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ashley Massaro.
And then there was a no DQ match for the WWE Championship with John Cena taking on Eric Bischoff. So.
Awesome.
December 10th, 2007, Raw 15th anniversary.
Okay.
Nothing really happened.
Are we almost done?
Yeah. Easy there.
I'm lost. I don't know how many we're through.
We're getting there. We're on 2008. April 21st, 2008, King of the Ring tournament they had.
Do you know who won it? Quick?
Nope.
William Regal.
CM Punk versus William Regal was the final. I believe you're right. June 15th, 2009, the 3-for-all. Raw sold to Trump.
You're fired.
You're fired. November 16th, 2009, Madison Square Garden. I guess that was a big moment. March 15th, 2010, Stone Cold hosts WrestleMania Rewind. June 27th, 2011, Raw Roulette, The Pipe Bomb with CM Punk. And the final episode is Raw 984, April 2nd, 2012, the Raw after WrestleMania 28. Now, when I heard that the Raw after WrestleMania was going to be on this DVD set, I assumed it'd be the Raw after WrestleMania 29 with the greatest crowd in Raw history. But I was wrong.
That one was awesome.
I love both of them, don't get me wrong. But which one do you think is better? I mean,
New Jersey was better and it wasn't even close.
Okay.
Miami was awesome. New Jersey was way better.
That's when they started the Yes Chance. Brock Lesnar came back. There's good matches. The Rock had a great promo.
Here's the thing. After that Miami, Raw after Mania, I said, that was sweet. That was cool.
Yeah.
After this year's, it was like, there was talk that was the best Raw of all time.
Yeah.
And there was never that talk in 2012. And it wasn't even close.
No, it was like, wow, that was really cool. I can't wait to see what Brock Lesnar happens. After the Raw, after WrestleMania 29, everyone was like, holy crap, how great was that crowd? How great was that moment when Ziggler cashed in? You know, The Undertaker and Kane and Daniel Bryan were all together, and The Shield, and Ryback turned heel, and CM Punk was getting booed out of the building, and the Fandangoing, and you know, they chanted Randy Savage, they chanted X-Pac, they were chanting the announcer's name.
Ziggler won a championship.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Raw 20. I think they missed quite a few. I don't know if they had the Tyson and Stone Cold encounter. There was a lot of stuff that I really thought would be on the list that wasn't there. And I don't know if they just were trying to get all the eras involved and they missed, certain things. But
for whatever reason, they probably wanted to get a piece of every little bit they've had, and you have to. I mean, if I were making that list, the majority would be coming from 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy to look back on, even to see, every year I watched Ric Flair fight as a professional. I looked at him and like, he's old. But if you look back, even when you thought he looked old, and you go back and watch, you're like, wow, he doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
I saw his match today, 2002 against Brock Lesnar on Raw, and I was like, wow, he looks pretty good. And I remember during that time watching that match in real time and saying, he looks terrible.
I remember watching him in like mid-90s on WCW and going, man, he looks old.
Yeah, and
he just always was old.
We got to see some kick-ass matches. You've got like Undertaker and Brock Lesnar tag team against Ric Flair and RVD. I mean, I still think that WWE really dropped the ball when it came to mixing WCW and ECW. And that effectively ended the Attitude Era, that purchase of WCW.
Yeah. I
don't blame them entirely because I think there were just too many people to physically make it work at all, no matter what they did.
Yeah.
But I think they really did screw it up.
I think it would have been cool to see like Chris Jericho's debut when he came back and interrupted the Rock promo when it was a countdown.
May 99.
Yeah, there was just so many awesome moments. It's tough. It's really tough when you have over 1,000 to choose from. My mom's calling.
Ooh. Do we want to take a call from her?
Should we?
Yeah, let's take a call.
All right. I'll put her on speakerphone here. Hello?
Hey, I didn't even think to ask. Did you need a ride?
No, Jimmy picked me up. I'm recording the podcast right now, actually.
He's going to drop you off?
Yeah, say hi to all of our listeners, Mom.
Say what?
Say hi to all of our listeners.
Hello?
I'm making Matt take the bus home.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice guy. Okay.
All
I
right.
just texted if you needed a ride.
Thank you, Mom. I love you.
I love you too.
All right. All right, bye. That was my mom.
Pat Bush, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Pat Bush.
Thank you, Mom, for making sure I have a ride home.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll pack you a lunch, too, just so you're ready.
Oh, that'd be great. Do you have leftover turkey?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'll take it. All right, we got to get into Raw, though. And I don't know about you. I liked Raw.
I did, too.
Good.
I don't know if that's good. I should have been like, no, I don't like it. No, it was decent. Of course, I think I missed the most important part. Because, again, we had this raging snowstorm. DirecTV goes out, and I got a scrambled version of the encounter between Dr. Ton, Randy Orton,
and John
Cena. But I got the gist of what happened.
Well, we'll fly through it because I really want to talk about that. But Raw kicks off with CM Punk. Comes out wondering why the Shield attacked him. Says he thinks he knows why, though. He criticized Triple H on last week's Raw. And says, that's why he got attacked. But he also says Triple H would be stupid to kick the hornet's nest on one of the biggest anti-established wrestlers in history. And this is what we've been talking about this for months. Like, why isn't CM Punk involved in this? He's anti-establishment. He would have something to say about this. They're finally getting involved in Triple H.
Finally.
Look at my notes. What was the next word that I wrote? Finally, with the exclamation point. Out comes Stephanie. Says CM Punk doesn't really matter. They have more important things to worry about other than if CM Punk called Triple H a name. Says if he has any questions to talk to the director of operations, who is now Kane. Kane then comes out, says the Shield acted independently, and asks if Punk has any questions because he declared the issue settled.
The DOO.
Punk does exactly when did he become the big red ass kicker? He called him
Ass kisser.
Ass kisser. Oh, it must have changed, autocorrected. Yeah. Punk invites him into the ring, but Steph stops Kane. The Shield then enter, and Punk grabs a chair. Then Stephanie stops the Shield. Kane says Punk will be in a handicap match at TLC versus the Shield. Wow.
Yeah. At a pay-per-view, 2 handicap matches.
Exactly.
2 3-on-1 handicap
Yeah, there
matches.
will be. And they involve maybe 2 of the most over faces in the company.
Yes. I'll reserve judgment.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'm sure it will be good.
Something's going to happen.
You got some terrific performers.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
But I love it. I'm so excited for CM Punk to get involved in this Triple H stuff. We've been calling him for weeks and weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is he? Why isn't he doing anything? What? You know, we talked about how Stone Cold would have never... If Vince was screwing over someone, Stone Cold would have been involved. He would have been trying to stop that. Finally, CM Punk is getting involved, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Last night, Punk looked like he had his hands tied, though, the entire night.
Yeah.
He looked like he didn't... His body language just said so much that he normally doesn't look like he's scripting that he's saying something scripted, and it looked like he was holding back last night, and I hope that they can maybe give him a little more leash to work with.
Yeah, unleash the fury. Our first match of the night pitted Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Sandow for the #1 contendership to the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Big E Langston is the current champion, so he had to be on mic. And Big E, being a face, of course, has to face a heel, so you already know who's going to win. Dolph Ziggler ends up losing. Sandow hits the "You're welcome" to win the match.
So we got the guy who this year held the World Heavyweight Championship fighting the guy who had the Money in the Bank contract for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Battling it
out to be the #1 contender for the IC title.
Which, the IC title, is going to be much more prestigious very soon.
Yes.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah, that's a good point. But there's a scenario that I didn't think of, you didn't think of last week, and Shane brought it up, our guy Shane once again, that what if Randy Orton and John Cena each grab a belt at TLC?
I will be very upset.
Yes. Now, what makes me think that won't happen is several times during yesterday's broadcast, Michael Cole reiterated that there will be one champion after TLC. Mm-hmm. Stephanie reiterated it. So I think that was their way of, if you read between the lines, addressing the internet chatter that they're just going to end up exchanging belts. And then having another match at Royal Rumble. I hope that is not the case. If it is, with the 2 3-on-1 handicap matches in that pay-per-view, I'm going to walk to Stamford, Connecticut and express my disdain.
Discontent.
Yes.
I'm excited for the Big E versus Sandow, though.
Same here.
Yeah. I really like both guys a lot.
Langston faltered on the mic a little bit last night, and that disappointed me a bit. It didn't disappoint me a great deal because he's dealing with 3 other voices, and that's tough to manage.
Got voices in his head.
Yeah. That's I'll give him a pass there.
Next up, we had AJ, Tamina, and Summer Rae taking on the Bellas and Natalya. It seems like every week we have some kind of Total Divas versus Real Divas match going on. This one wasn't too bad. Natalya ends up pinning AJ with a roll-up. There were a lot of roll-ups on Raw on Monday, but I didn't really mind that much.
I don't like how much AJ loses.
She loses every non-title match.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I think this will finally be Natalya's time. I think she's going to win it at TLC.
I hope so. I mean, if she doesn't lose, then she doesn't deserve another shot at it, really. But yeah, I like the match. I love what they're doing with the Bellas.
Me too.
I love what they're doing with AJ Lee. I love what they're doing with Natalya. This is one of the... Summer Rae is getting a little annoying with her dancing. Like, freaking wrestle.
Yeah.
Like,
she's more than capable.
Yeah, and she's good in the ring. Although they botched some stuff.
Well,
pretty hard.
So did Unico.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. Next up, we had a segment called Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett, which I believe originated on the JBL and Cole show, which is incredibly popular for like internet stuff.
I think they should rename it though to Cheap Heat Barrett.
Yeah.
She's like, your city smells. Bad news.
Yeah, they're just trying to get anything going with him.
Your local sports team loses. Ha ha ha.
You're fat.
Yeah.
You're out of shape.
You're fat and American.
You had to name your city Oklahoma City so you don't forget the state's name. White power. Where did that come from, Wade Barrett?
That escalated quickly.
You are a racist, Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
I'm giving it a chance.
I hate it already.
I'm okay with it.
I hate it. It's so dumb. And it, like, no one at home is going like, oh, I don't care. You know, because it doesn't affect them.
I love it that hashtag bad news.
Hashtag bad. Like, is it hashtag bad? Because hashtag, like, it was like three separate things.
Pound sign bad news Barrett.
Well, it was bad. Hashtag bad segment. That's what it was.
Yeah. I like that.
No. We kick backstage to Randy Orton with Brad Maddox, a returning Brad Maddox.
A speechless Brad Maddox.
Mm-hmm. Orton demands that the authority recognize him as the face of the company, and he wants Brad Maddox to bring that message.
And greater than WWE itself.
Yeah, which is absolutely preposterous.
BS.
Our next match pitted Daniel Bryan versus Rowan.
Loved it. Eric Rowan, now granted, he had the upper hand in this match. He got the majority of the offense in. That was by design. Daniel Bryan's great, which is why it looked so good.
Yeah.
But Eric Rowan, dude, that guy can go.
Yeah, he's legit. And Harper can too.
Yes.
They're both great.
I'm excited for when these guys are fighting tag team title matches. Love it. I love seeing this.
They're good. Daniel Bryan wins with a roll-up, a fruit roll-up, you know.
Oh, delicious.
They're so good.
Fruit by the foot.
Bray Wyatt.
I'd rather have bubble tape, though.
Yeah, but the best part of the match was Bray Wyatt coming on and talking to Daniel Bryan after the match on the big screen. Daniel Bryan was in the spotlight. This was the best promo Bray Wyatt has ever given.
Yeah.
He says he's mad enough to admit when he's wrong. He viewed Bryan as a little creature fighting an uphill war. Says he sees the monster in Bryan, and together they would tear the walls off this place. Really, really interesting promo. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see what happens with that.
I know. My only concern is that it's too obvious that he would make a heel turn and join the Wyatts. But God, I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
I could see it. Nothing happening. We get to the Royal Rumble, and he screws over his buddy CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. I think it's going to come to a head at Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble, it will be down to like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and like Harper, and the two will turn on CM Punk, or the two will turn on Daniel Bryan.
Why wouldn't Bray be in it?
Or I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be down to one of the Wyatts and those two.
I predict a Wyatt.
What is that?
There's a Kaiser Chiefs song called I Predict a Riot.
Oh, okay. Sure. I love the promo. I thought it was his best ever. Just great.
You know what that promo was lacking, though? Goldberg.
Goldberg would have made it a little more exciting. You know, I'm about halfway through that DVD, and it's great. I love it.
How many times have you,
fapped?
What is that?
You know what it is.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I know what... I'm guessing I know what it is. I've never heard that.
You've never heard fap?
Is that a term from Reddit or something?
It is.
Shut up! I was just kidding. Is it really?
It is, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they use them on those, like, Rage comics.
Oh my gosh. The internet is stupid.
No, it's not. I'm like, the internet's awesome. I'm like rushing to his aid. Why would you say that? He's a good guy. So we go backstage once again. Kane announces that Daniel Bryan will be in a handicap match.
Oh my God.
Versus the Wyatts at TLC. Second 3-on-1 handicap match involving both Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
I was happy that I got to see some interaction between Kane and Daniel Bryan, finally. It was nice that they mentioned their past partnership. It wasn't as heated as I'd like it to be, but whatever. 3-on-1, something's got to happen.
Yeah, I mean...
How's that for analysis? Something's got to happen.
Those, I mean, I like it because, we expect something to happen, but...
The only thing I can say is these are two guys who I can handle watching in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Mm-hmm. It's going to be all right. Literally something is going to happen. Mm. You can't just have a 3-on-1 match and have them lose and be like, oh, okay. We're here.
Yeah, we're here. Oh, I love that song.
It's a great song, and every time Ryan Kresge talks about it, he's right on. He's like, man, that song couldn't be more appropriate for those guys. It's awesome.
It's amazing. I love it. Our next match was R-Truth and Xavier Woods taking on Tons of Funk. Brodus Clay coming back after we talked about him being absent.
Yeah.
With his new dinosaur threads.
Which is funny now that he's kind of a heel, that he wears that. It just looks funny.
Xavier Woods wins with a roll-up on Brodus Clay. That was our third roll-up of the night. Clay's upset and shoves Sweet Tea afterwards, even though he's the one who lost. It was an obvious...
No, he won. Brodus won.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No.
Oh, that's right. He got rolled up. I was thinking of SmackDown. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking of SmackDown because he beat Rhodes on SmackDown.
Well, there you go.
And it was a similar situation. He beat Rhodes on SmackDown. Tensai prevented him from doing further damage, and it kind of ended the same way. But yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, Clay is obviously turning heel, which he needs to do. I hope they have a plan for him. That's all I have to say. Just don't make it a Miz heel turn where it's just like, oh, he's a bad guy again.
Yeah.
And and it has no point at all.
That Miz thing,
it's so bad.
It was like, let's forget that we had that. Oh, let's do this. No one cares.
You know what? You know why they made him a good guy again for a minute?
Christmas Bounty.
Yeah, he had creative literally forgot that he had a movie coming up.
Well, I think a lot of people probably forgot that movie existed.
Christmas Bounty?
Yeah.
I almost forgot the name of it. Xavier Woods continues his winning streak. Next up, we had Sin Cara returning. Kind of. Sin Cara. Sin Cara Negro. Taking on ADR. They still have the Sin Cara mood lighting, which is incredible to me.
I still don't understand that.
No.
It seems so pointless.
He's Mexico's greatest export.
Mexico's greatest export.
Sin Cara wins with a Swanton Bomb. Or Swanton Bomb.
Senton Bomb?
Swanton?
It's Senton.
Senton Bomb?
Jeff Hardy called it the Swanton. It's a Senton.
Okay. And it was just Hunico question mark. That's what I had. Because obviously it wasn't Sin Cara.
It was Hunico.
It was
Hunico, and he has the tattoo.
He has a tattoo. He's a little chunkier. He's clearly not Sin Cara.
Although they both botched the same.
Yeah. They want to have Sin Cara versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania to defeat the Anaheim Angels record for most people wearing a mask at one time.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Where'd you hear this?
I read it.
And will you be wearing a mask?
Probably.
Really? You will?
I'm not going to pay for it. If they give it to me for free like a Homer hanky, I'll wear it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate the idea for a match. I don't want to see Rey Mysterio or Hunico anywhere near the WrestleMania card, but we're going to get it. And this I completely expect it to happen now.
That's funny.
Yeah. Code Dust and the Big Show took on the Shield. Awesome match.
Yeah.
Shield always deliver. Shield win after Goldust hits a superplex, but Rollins rolls him up immediately afterwards. Another roll-up victory. That was the 4th of the night.
Awesome.
But it was still a great match. It was just cool. It was a finish I hadn't seen, which is tough.
Especially since those guys are all involved in a lot of the same matches.
Yeah. They keep finding new ways to end those matches, and I like it a lot. They're so good.
They are.
Just so good. It's awesome.
They're terrific.
Mm-hmm. Our next match. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. We're here. Yeah. What?
That's the P. Diddy version.
Turn my headphones up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you wanna be? I don't know where
It's a perfect song for them. Matt, that's beautiful, Matt.
Kofi and The Miz took on Ryback and Axel. Ryback gets the pin after Shell Shock. My autocorrect put it to Shill Shock. After Shell Shock on Kofi, Miz then slaps Kofi after the match. Apparently he's a bad guy once again. It's for the 3rd time this week. Yeah.
The Miz, nobody cares. I gave Miz a chance for a while, but now I don't care.
Yeah, I the hopes of a generation fallen.
Of the reality
era. Reality TV. Yeah, I don't understand why he's a bad guy. Where's he gonna go? Who cares? Mark Henry took on Fandango. Henry wins quickly with the world's strongest slam. Obviously, his push is continuing. Fandango continues to fall down the hierarchy of the WWE, with even Summer Rae getting more of a push than him now. The hot and cold booking I can't stand.
Well, it's tough to push
everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But literally 8 months ago, you had him defeating Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Well, it's not his time. It's just not his time.
All right.
They need to clear some space. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised that after this move, especially going down to one title, if they have a kind of a mass exodus of people.
Cut the fat. Who would leave on your cut the fat?
Who would
you cut?
Not who will, but who should.
Who? Give me 5 guys.
Jack Swagger.
Ooh, yeah.
The Miz. Kofi Kingston.
Kofi for sure. Unfortunately.
Tensai. Now, I would like to keep Tensai and make him good. He was my World Heavyweight Champion.
I know.
But they're not going to do anything with him. So they could spare him. And I'd say a guy like Christian, because he's irrelevant, but they'll just kind of keep him around and be like a part-time every once in a while.
I would not want to lose Christian. I love Christian.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What about Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, I don't count Ray just like I don't count Christian, because I think they've gotten to the point where they will eventually just call their own shot. Mm-hmm. Once they're done, and they're not healthy enough to wrestle regularly.
I'd get rid of Sin Cara. He hurts his finger and he's out for 8 months. That's it. I would just get rid of Sin Cara.
Yeah, I'd get rid of him too.
Yeah. The Real Americans took on Primetime Players.
Kali would be my number one out of everybody we mentioned.
Kali. Hornswoggle, too, probably.
Nope, I'd keep him.
Santino?
I'd keep Santino and do something with him, but...
No, they're not going to do anything with Santino. Real Americans versus Primetime Players. He's gonna puke!
I hate that.
He's gonna puke!
I hate that gimmick. That's so dumb.
Yeah. I mean, you got Antonio Cesaro swinging, doing his rope-a-dope or whatever it's called, onto Titus O'Neil. On SmackDown, he did it, and Titus O'Neil had eaten so much turkey that he vomited everywhere and on everyone, like it was an episode of South Park or something. And they were reenacting that kind of on Monday without the throwing up part. Mm-hmm. Darren Young actually looked really, really good in the ring. But until he got hit by a very European uppercut.
He doesn't know how good he can be.
We don't know how good he can be. European uppercut, and he was pinned by Cesaro. Cesaro obviously should get the pin there, and did. I like the match, even though it was ridiculous with throwing up. Get rid of it as soon as possible. I'm tired of it already. Mm-hmm. It's been 2 episodes, done. Get it out of there. It's like Natalia farting.
Or peeing.
It's not going to help anyone. It's going to dumb down your product, and it's going to hurt that superstar's marketability. Stupid. The WWE Universe vote came in and votes that the Orton and Cena winner will be named the Unified Champion. Not my favorite.
I have a feeling that one was rigged, like most of those things.
I don't think it was rigged.
See, I do. I think that they want it to be completely separate from the Undisputed Championship
Maybe.
From 12 years ago. That they want it to have a brand new name, and by having a vote like that, it showed the close numbers. Like, they probably were close, but I voted for Undisputed Champion, and I think most people probably did.
Undisputed WWE
Champion. Yeah.
See, I just want to call him World Heavyweight Champion.
How about...
That's what it was called before.
How about WWE Champion? Just that.
Champion.
Not Undisputed.
Yeah.
Not anything. Because really, it's all disputed. There are so many titles.
There's TNA, there's Ring of Honor.
Yep.
But here's why I think
there's
it wasn't...
tons more.
It wasn't rigged. They didn't say that was the new name.
Yes, actually, that's a good point.
They said the authority will take that into consideration.
Here's the thing. If you go to the WWE app, after the results came in, it said the new champion will be known as the Unified Champion. It said it on the app, but you're right. On the show, they said they will take that into consideration. Yeah. So they gave that mixed message like, it might be, or, hey, thanks for your vote.
Yeah.
This is what you would call it.
And plus they split. I mean, the Undisputed votes if Undisputed
was 31,
62% of the votes.
Yeah, that's true.
Where Unified only got 37%.
38.
It was 37, but...
Was it really?
Yeah. So they were off a percent.
Very good.
Yeah. But, that's definitely... I mean, they want Undisputed. Mm-hmm. I think. But that's just my opinion on it. But next up...
You've convinced me.
That they're going to go Undisputed?
Yeah. I mean, because that's a good point that they did say, well, the authority will take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Next up, this was absolutely awesome, and I wrote so much about it.
Okay.
We had the Orton versus John Cena contract signing. Steph and Triple H reiterate that there will be only one champion after TLC. Triple H talks about the history of each belt, which I assumed he would, about who carried it. He mentioned champions like Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Triple H.
Well,
although to be
Stephanie
fair,
Stephanie mentioned both, and I loved how she did it.
Yes. Which brings me to the point, could we see Triple H walking out of TLC as the Undisputed Champion? I don't know. But they talk about how they wanted this for a long time, this unification. There you go. And needed both belts to be represented by someone who can be the face of the company if they win. So
just a slap in the face to Dan Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
CM Punk. And that's where I think Punk's going to take exception. Like when they made reference to the match being super important, when Stephanie did, when Punk was in the ring to start the show, he kind of had that look in his eyes like, okay, like really, how am I not in this match? And that's where I feel like he was being held back. Because if he would have said what he wanted to say, he would have torn them a new a-hole.
Yeah. I think they have huge plans for CM Punk.
I do too.
Going into WrestleMania, though. After that, they both sign the contract. Randy then takes over the mic, says he is better than all the former belt holders who Triple H mentioned. Says he will beat Cena and walk out with both titles. Heel Orton is a good Orton, is what I wrote. I love heel Orton. I think he's so much more natural when he's being a bad guy.
I love what Cena said to him, though, because it was all true. Oh. All that was missing was the wellness violations.
Yeah. Cena interrupts as Orton's going on, does this Cena shtick at first, but then he says the only dream he turned into a nightmare was Triple H's dream when he chose Orton 10 years ago, and he has never lived up to the potential that Triple H saw in him. He has become cocky, he's had a bad attitude, and he's lazy. He was the youngest WWE champ in history, was given Hall of Fame mentors with Evolution, and he let Cena ruin his dream because he outworked him. Says Orton was given his belt, but Cena earned his. They mean mug each other for a while, and Cena lays down a serious threat to Orton. Basically says, make a move. And he does. Orton flips the table, and they go after each other. Cena hits Orton with a ladder. Orton sends Cena into the post. Cena hits Orton with a chair and then the microphone. Orton lays into Cena with the chair and sets up a table, but then Cena recovers and tosses Orton through the table in the corner.
How about pause that? I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I'm watching it right now, and I'm watching it for the first time because of the scrambled TV. I've got it on YouTube. Cena, after he slams Orton's head into the steel post, hands a little kid one of his shirts that he had in his pocket.
Yeah, he does. He then gives us a thumbs down like Batista used to, and gives him an attitude adjustment through yet another table. Cena grabs both titles and holds them into the air as Raw goes off the air. That was awesome.
I'm excited to see it here.
It was everything I hoped for with this interaction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got physical. You had two tables. Yeah, I mean, you had them going after each other, saying exactly what both people needed to say in that moment. Triple H saying exactly what he needed. Steph, it was absolutely perfect. If this was the go-home show for TLC, I would be so freaking pumped for Sunday.
I'm still pumped because I can't wait to see the beating that Orton hands Cena next Monday.
He will.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm so happy with how this angle is going. And John Cena, okay, I know I criticize John Cena. When John Cena gets serious and he stops the whole, shtick, playing to the crowd, he's incredible, and he was absolutely awesome. And Andy, John Cena was awesome.
Right now, Andy just got a little tingle.
I know. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I'm excited to see the rest of this thing with audio, because it kept cutting out right, and it stopped working altogether right before they attacked each other. But yeah, you're right. This was a nice little taste of what Cena should be.
This Raw was very, very, very good. It addressed so many angles that should be happening. Like we constantly complain about like stuff that they miss, like just obvious stuff that should be happening, and this one hit every single angle that should be happened, and I'm so happy. I've never been this happy.
And they visited the roll-up trope several times.
Several times, which I always love. So that was Raw. We got to get into our Slammy Awards. We're running a little late. We had a lot to talk about today. You have the categories, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I want you to give your picks, and then I'll give my picks.
Okay. All right. For Slammies,
we have like
1, 2,
like
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories.
9 categories. You got that last one I sent you to, right?
10 categories.
Okay.
All right. We have 10 categories.
All right.
Now, first, Manager of the Year.
Manager of the Year.
Manager of the Year. My Manager of the Year, my Slammy, goes to Paul Heyman.
And that's the only pick. That's my pick, too. I mean, obviously it's going to be Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
Heyman with Lesnar, Heyman with Punk. Heyman in WrestleMania was so great. I mean, he's holding up the urn. It was just great. Paul Heyman blew it away. It wasn't even close. Paul Heyman, you win our Slammy.
Yes, congratulations, Paul. Diva of the Year. My Diva of the Year, and I'm just going to say it, your Diva of the Year, AJ Lee.
But she's not my Diva of the Year. Not this year.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm picking Brie Bella.
Oh, very good.
Yes. My Slammy goes to Brie Bella. Not only on Total Divas, but in the ring, she's completely improved. She more than held her own when Nikki was gone. I really think she has helped save her career and Nikki's career.
Yes.
And I'm excited where they go forward from here.
I will not argue with that pick, but I'm sticking with AJ.
And I can't argue against that pick.
Because she has brought relevance to the Divas division in the ring, and she's awesome. But great picks. We could even do co-Divas of the Year.
There you go.
But wow.
I wouldn't mind seeing them in the a little bit of okay.
My newcomer of the year.
The
Slammy goes to Large E. Langston.
Big E. Langston.
Yes.
That's a solid pick. Now I couldn't quite remember if he debuted this year, but I think he did.
He did. He debuted in 2013.
No, Big E did.
Yeah.
But my newcomer of the year was Damian Sandow. And I can't remember.
He debuted in 2012.
Shit. Okay, Big E. Langston.
Okay.
Big E. Langston's my pick as well.
All right. Now, there's a few of these categories that I can't name one off the top of my head without knowing that I've probably forgotten some. One is Angle of the Year. Now, my Angle of the Year, I'm going to go with the Authority Daniel Bryan deal, just because, to me, while it fell short, it was the most excited I was when I was watching
Authority and Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really, really good pick. My favorite angle of the year was CM Punk versus The Undertaker.
Okay.
With the whole with the death of Edward,
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer. Well, I was trying to remember his real name.
William Moody. You were going to say
Edward Moody. For some reason.
Former local news anchor.
Oh, yeah. He was.
He's now in the cities.
Okay, great. Yes. Paul
the Twin Cities of Minneapolis.
Paul Bearer passed away. I loved all the CM Punk stuff that he did.
Was he in Rochester?
Licking his ashes and dropping that. Mm-hmm. I thought it was great.
I'm sorry, you finished.
And it obviously culminated in a great match at WrestleMania.
This easily would have been my Angle of the Year if it had involved the championship. But because it didn't, to me, it just didn't matter because it was a foregone conclusion that Taker was going to win.
Yeah.
Even though you could argue that it would still be a foregone conclusion even if the title was involved.
Sure.
But to me, it felt empty after all Punk had done leading up to that.
Yeah, I understand.
Match of the Year. Should we save that for last? Or should we say that second for last? Superstar of the Year last?
It doesn't matter.
Swerve of the Year, I went Triple H against Daniel Bryan, even though that was fairly predictable.
Yeah, I agree. That was my Swerve of the Year as well. Triple H turning on Daniel Bryan, because they really, really made you believe that Daniel Bryan was going to walk out of there as champion. They had confetti flying. It took so long for Triple H to actually hit the pedigree. That's when I was like, Frank! You gotta be kidding me. We all saw it coming, but they really, really played it out well. That was definitely the Swerve of the Year.
And I should hand you a Slammy for these next two. One is the event of the year, the Raw After Mania.
Raw After Mania.
Not even close in my book.
That's my event of the year as well. Blew the crap out of WrestleMania 29. There were some other good events in there. I really liked TLC 2012 because we're including TLC 2012. Yeah. There was also some really, really good events, but I can't go back and watch. Royal Rumble was really
Royal
good
Rumble
too.
was sweet.
I love the crap out of Royal Rumble, but Raw After Mania, especially
Jericho.
being there. Oh, Chris Jericho, the return at Royal Rumble was my biggest mark-out moment of the year. But
right now, Shane would say John Laurinaitis coming back at Survivor Series.
Yeah, he freaked out. But yeah, Raw after Mania has to be the event of the year for me.
My moment of the year, another one that you could play a role in here, you did play a role in, Dolph Ziggler winning the World Heavyweight Championship for several reasons. One, it's what needed to happen. 2, it's what I wanted to happen. 3, the way it happened. A terrific match. Prior to this, a lot of those cash-ins were foregone conclusions. This was a terrific, albeit quick, match where you thought each guy was going to win on 2 different occasions. And just outstanding. It was made even better because Del Rio was a babyface at the time and fought through pain to have that match. He did not back down. And it was just an incredible payoff, incredible celebration, and then having one of the greatest, if not the greatest crowd there to enhance it, made it by far my moment of the year.
That was my moment of the year too. And the emotion, like, I still get chills just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't, like, I mean, you watch my video, because I recorded the whole match. And like, you can hear me go 1, 2, yeah! Like, I couldn't even say 3. I was just so excited, and the whole crowd was like, "That's one of the largest pops I've ever heard for a crowd in WWE." And to be part of it was just magical, really. Like, I still get chills.
It's the number one reason why that episode of Raw remains the only episode of Raw on my DVR. Next one, Slammy for Tag Team of the Year. I'll need your help on this one because I really want to give it to Team Hell No, because I don't want us to forget the run that they had leading up to, really,
WrestleMania.
Was it SummerSlam? No, when did they lose the title? They lost
it after Mania because they won at Mania.
Yeah, it was...
They had a good run. They had like 8 months.
Yeah, it was 8 or 9 months.
They lost to the Shield?
I'm going with Team Hell No. They lost to the Shield. But the Shield also were on my list. But if I have to pick one, I'm picking Team Hell No. Because it was a great year for Daniel Bryan. And this was a big part of his great year.
It's a good pick. I went with the Shield on this one. Just because day in and day out, they've consistently put on the best matches. You could also make a case for Code Dust because that angle was great too. But the Shield, I think, are the best in-ring performers that the WWE has right now. They never put on a match where you're like, "Oh, this is boring." Everything they put on unique matches. They put on great matches. It's just incredible what they've done.
This next one, I'm going to need your help with. Match of the year. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Of all of the years I've been a wrestling fan, 26 years now, I've seen a crap ton of matches. If you said in 2008 at, Breakdown who fought in, like, I don't even know if there was a Breakdown in 08. I couldn't tell you who was in any of these matches, even though I've seen a ton of them. So I can't even really name a match of the year off the top of my head without it being the standard, like, Undertaker, Punk. But I really don't have one.
Sure. There are a few candidates that I considered. There's Undertaker, Punk, of course. There was Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam, which was amazing.
Yep.
And there were a few others, but the one that stood out in my mind as the best match of the year happened on Monday Night Raw. It was John Cena versus CM Punk for the number one contender to take on The Rock at WrestleMania. That match had absolutely everything. You had CM Punk, John Cena hitting a pile driver, hitting a Batista bomb. You had kickouts. You had submission holds. You had a Hurricane Rana from John Cena.
Yep, that was a great match.
On free TV. It was... I want to go back and watch that match right now because it was just so good. That's my match of the year, and it was on free TV, and I can't believe it was on free TV.
I'll give you that vote, too. That was one of the 4 or 5 episodes this year that I've saved longer than the week of Raw, or the week before the next episode. I kept that one on for a while, and that was one of the reasons why, so thank you for reminding me of that. That'd be my match of the year. So that's 9 categories we've gone through: Match of the Year, Angle of the Year, Manager of the Year, Diva, Tag Team, Swerve, Newcomer, Event, and Moment. Our last category, the Slammy for Superstar of the Year. I'm giving my Slammy to Daniel Bryan. He's won 2 WWE championships. He held the tag team titles for a while. Easily, I'd say, next to Cena and Punk, the most popular guy right now.
Daniel Bryan's the obvious choice. John Cena could be obviously considered. He came back in 2 months from if that happened to me, I'd be like, I'm just gonna quit life. My arm's never gonna be fine. And he's 2 months later. He's Superman. John Cena has had an awesome year. I mean, you could consider some other people as well, but Daniel Bryan is the pick. I mean, from where he went from the Raw after, from WrestleMania 28, losing 18 seconds to where he is now is awesome. It's incredible. He's the most over guy in the company. And the moment at SummerSlam, when he beat John Cena, we were jumping up and down.
Yeah.
We couldn't believe it. He won cleanly against John Cena at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. And yeah, he's the man right now. Not John Cena. Daniel Bryan is the man right now. I think they have big plans for him going into Mania season. I'm excited to see it, and he's definitely superstar of 2013.
That's a great call. He, to me, was the unlikely guy. When you told me earlier this year that he was in line for the next big push, I remember being stunned, thinking, there's no way. And sure enough, it happened, and he's great. He's getting his due. Maybe not quite like people want him to at the moment, but just like you said, they have big things in store for Punk. You feel I know they do, and Bryan is right a part of that. And
they're setting it up,
Yeah, and
it's a long con.
Yeah, and what is it? The means justifies the end, or the end justifies the means. All the garbage. Even though I still think, no matter how we might be at this time next year or next summer, at a point where Punk and or Bryan, are the top 2 guys, and it's easy. One's the champ, and one's gunning for him. I still think they made some missteps along the way.
Yeah,
I think they really, with the vacancy and the abeyance, I think they just couldn't agree on what to do from week to week, and it just turned into a jumbled mess.
It has, but they've positioned them so well right now. I'm so excited for what they can do, and I hope do. I'm just very happy right now with WWE. Keep it going. Don't mess up. Don't let Vince mess up. Whatever.
Better not screw this
Stay
up.
on the line.
Change the old man's password. Don't let him in.
Don't let him hack into your Wi-Fi.
Take his key card away.
Yeah. Great. I had a lot of fun this episode.
I did too. Tons of fun. I'd say interactive listener of the year, Callum Johnston. Callum, of course, our UK pal. From Manchester? No, not Manchester.
He's from England.
Yeah, Callum. My bad. Here, I should know this. We're gonna look it up while I'm talking.
He might be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's making plans with his boy Jack Wallace. William Wallace. Callum is from Wolverhampton, of course. That's right, Georgia Lacobe, Wanderers, Wolves. Yes. He brought a podcast of the Immortals sign to Raw, which is pretty sweet.
Awesome.
What did you do for us? Nothing. Callum brought a sign to Raw.
Step up your game,
and SmackDown. But we've also had some great interactions with some people. Brian Neal's one who comes to mind off the top of my head.
Yeah.
The dude who came out to wrestling music for his wedding, and he said we inspired him to do that.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
We've had dude. I will look up your name tomorrow. I'll tweet your name tomorrow. We'll tweet about you. We've had so many cool interactions. So we definitely give a Slammy to our listeners, because you guys are the reason we've been able to make it 50 episodes and enjoy every single week we've done it. No matter how busy or how tired we are, when our work schedules have conflicted, we've still found the time to get an episode in and have fun doing it. tonight's a great example. It is snowing like crazy outside, and we couldn't care less. We put 108 minutes. I'm looking at 108 right now. 68 minutes. Yeah. My math ain't so good. But yeah, awesome time. Can't wait for the next 50. We've got some big things in store for the next 50 episodes. We'll have some nice flashy, nice sounding microphones. So you should notice an increased sound quality in the near future.
We spent some cash, yo.
And hopefully we'll be getting Mr. McFoley on in February when he's here. Again, I don't want to make any promises, but we'll see.
Possibly.
And then we have another big superstar who has committed, but I don't want to say his name yet because it's 10 months away. No, it's 9 months.
Like September.
It's 10 months away.
September of 2014.
It's about 10 months away.
Former WWE superstar.
Yeah, former WWE superstar within the last 2+ years. And he still wrestles to this day. He's a terrific performer.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
But
very attractive.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man.
Yes.
He's a beautiful man.
Jimmy, I want to give you a Slammy as well.
Oh.
Like, for real, like, this has been awesome. Like, we didn't even know each other before we started this podcast. And you're like one of my great friends now. I would take a bullet for you. You're an awesome dude.
Hopefully you won't ever have to.
I won't have to. I'm sure I won't have to. No one will want to shoot you. But, like, for real, this has been really important to me, and it's been really special to me, and I love you, man.
Aww.
I love you.
I love you too, man.
Yeah.
No, it's been a ton of fun, and I've always wanted to do something in radio, and granted this isn't radio, but podcasts are awesome, and I love them. I listen to them all the time. Mm-hmm. I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, wrestling podcasts, and entertainment podcasts, sports stuff, and to be able to do one on a topic that is one of my favorite things of all time is great, and to have it with a friend locally. Our friendship has grown from nothing. I mean, like you said, we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
You went to high school with my brother. And
that was like our only connection.
Yeah, and
we both went to journalism school.
Yeah, I knew you were a guy.
Yeah,
and you went to the same schools as me. But it's been awesome, and I look forward to going to WrestleMania in the future. You've been a bridge in developing my friendship with Andy McKinnon. We've gotten Ryan and Shane involved, and Kyle Scanlon.
Yep.
Scans the Man at Scans the Man on Twitter. One of our devoted listeners and great friends.
Talk about sexy.
Yeah, this kid's got muscles on top of muscles.
Yeah.
He's the only dude I know who can wear a basketball tank top and make it look good.
Oh, yeah.
I love you, Scanny. It's been a blast. So thank you for the kind words.
Oh, no
Very
problem.
nice of you to say.
Seriously, my life has improved so much because of this podcast. My group of friends has grown.
Right now, you're making something else grow.
Oh.
Kidding.
Know what I'm saying?
No,
looking back on 50 episodes from where we started to where we are now, it's incredible. We were paying, we were paying money just to put this podcast out. And now we have people in England who make a sign for us. Or, it's surreal to me. It's incredible. This is turning into a big love fest for each other, but I'm seriously I can't believe how awesome this has been as an experience, and I'm just really happy with how everything has gone, and I'm very happy. That's all.
Yes, Matt, I'll marry you.
Yes, all right. On bended knee.
In the words of Dr. Evil, it got weird, didn't it?
It did.
Yes, I was going to say something else, and now I can't remember.
But even our pay-per-views.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We went from 4 people, 5 people to 13.
Mm-hmm. I come with an entourage.
Yeah, I went to WrestleMania with 1 person last year. Now I'm going with 5. Mm-hmm. Next year maybe it'll be 8. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Not to drag this on too much longer. Hopefully you guys are still listening, and gals. One thing I take great pride in is uniting people or connecting them. And I've been accused in the past of people saying, well, you're a people pleaser, or you just want people to like you, or you just want everybody to like you. No, I don't want everybody to like me. I just don't want people to ever have a reason to hate anyone, including myself. And if I can have a friend, and then on the other side have another friend, and have those two people be strangers and then become friends, that is the best thing I can do. And I feel like I've been good at that and able to do that. And our little group is one example of that. Shane came over to the U.S. In 2012. I met him through my soccer friends, my Dublin pub friends, and he got a job there, and we played soccer with and against each other. We became instant buddies. He became instant buddies with Ryan, who works at Dublin. Ryan and I have been friends since we were 10 or 11 years old. And Ryan and I love wrestling. Shane loves wrestling. And so we're able to bring them together. Kyle Scanlon, again, went to school with you and Josh, my brother, or little Puck. And, he and I have become, we went from being just, dudes who knew each other to pretty damn good friends. Yeah. And I he comes to the pay-per-views. I love it. It's awesome. And of course, Chris Chafee. I've talked to Chris Chafee even more, which is great because I miss that kid. We don't live in the same city anymore, but
we talk way more since this podcast. Like I'll get random texts of him oh hell yeah,
Stone Cold ET.
Stone Cold. It really has embrace your nerdiness.
Yes, Mo.
Yes, Mo.
Thank you too, Mo. I appreciate you.
Mo, I love you too.
I didn't forget about you, buddy. Thank you.
If I've learned anything from this podcast, it's to embrace your nerdiness. Don't be ashamed of what you love, because for years I was like a closet fan because I was worried what people would think. I don't care anymore. I'm like, fuck yeah, I love wrestling. I love it.
And it's hard to explain wrestling to people who aren't wrestling fans, and they always go with the standard, well, it's fake, right? Well, what do I always say? Yeah, so is Modern Family.
Yeah,
Modern Family's not real.
It's scripted.
But I feel this, I can understand why people say it, because if somebody's really into cheerleading, they're really into cheerleading, they go to those competitions, I don't understand that.
No.
I never will understand that, and I'll never get into it, but I'm not going to give the person in Kentucky who's really hardcore into cheerleading any grief about it. No. That's their thing. If it makes them happy, do it. Life is short. Can I think of any more cliches? But no, just
love what you love.
Just do anything that makes you happy, as long as it's not hurting other people. Yeah. And that's it.
Do what makes you happy.
And if unfortunately the only thing you love is to hurt other people, well then I'm sorry, you're screwed.
Yeah, I hate you.
But no, thank you guys, one, for sticking around for 76 minutes. God, you'd think it was our first podcast where I just wouldn't shut up.
Rambled for an hour and a half.
And thank you to Wrestle News.
Wrestle News, yes.
You listeners make this possible, and this partnership with Wrestle News also makes this possible.
Yes.
So it's WrestleNews.com, of course, Wrestle News with a Z.
Yes.
Because they're cool.
Follow them on Twitter at Wrestle News. Also follow us on Twitter at Immortals PCast, at 97Bush, at Jimmy Bellamy. Y'all know it by now. Thank you guys. We love you.
We love you very much. And now I'm ready to go home. Well, wait, I'm ready to bring you home.
Bring me home.
And that's not dirty. I'm just saying. I really have to bring you home. So,
all right.
We'll just go do that right
now. Peace. I like that I ended with peace, because that was like our thing.